Unless you clicked on this video by mistake, or you fell asleep with the autoplay on and for some reason the algorithm decided to show you Five Nights at Freddy's for the first time, you do not need me to tell you that It's Me has been a FNAF mystery from day one. It's a particularly persistent and frustrating mystery, right up there with who the heck was convicted for the MCI, because the evidence is slim, the context is inconsistent, and we've been dying to know for 10 years. The new interactive novel The Week Before has quintupled our instances of It's Me to analyze. In this video, I am first going to cover every single instance of It's Me in the official FNAF content, and then theorize on what it means. I want this video to be a good reference for people trying to find every instance of It's Me, but I am just one bunny who sometimes misses things. If I've forgotten an instance of It's Me, put it in the comments for posterity, and the pinned comment will be a comment by me with all the evidence people have pointed out that I missed. I'm Candi Bunny, and I'm feeling good about this theory. Let's pick apart every instance of It's Me in all of FNAF like it's our full-time job. Even though it very much is not, I have only made 14 videos, this is in fact my part-time job. First up, FNAF 1. Five Nights at Freddy's, or as we now call it FNAF 1, came out in 2014. It was the very first Five Nights at Freddy's, and like all first entries in a series, it set the direction for everything in the franchise. The 15 other mainline games, the graphic novels, the FNAF Goosebumps, the FNAF Choose Your Own Adventure, the movies, they're all sourced from this one point. FNAF 1 has 4 instances of It's Me that can occur. By far the most well-known is the Golden Freddy instance, or as he was called in the game files, Yellow Bear. When an image of the yellow bear appears, It's Me flashes in high concentration before your game crashes. The second most well-known instance is that when Foxy has left Pirate's Cove, there's a chance for the text on the Pirate's Cove sign to change to It's Me. I'm not sure which of the next instances are more popular, so I'm gonna stop making it an It's Me popularity contest. The posters in the East Hall have a chance to disappear and be replaced with graffiti that says It's Me. And finally, similar to how Golden Freddy can flash It's Me on your screen, the same can happen with Bonnie and Freddy specifically. As many people recently have pointed out, many people originally attributed It's Me as a phenomenon only associated with Golden Freddy, but this was not the case. Golden Freddy was simply the most intense and most mysterious occurrence of It's Me in FNAF 1. Up next, the enigmatic prequel to FNAF 1, FNAF 2. I find it very notable that It's Me persists into FNAF 2, but does not accompany the Golden Freddy jump scare this time, despite Golden Freddy's jump scare being very similar in mechanic and vibe to the FNAF 1 Golden Freddy. Instead, the only occurrence of It's Me in FNAF 2 is in the Between Night cutscenes. The first cutscene, the camera is inside an animatronic mask, looking out over the FNAF 1 location. You pan the camera back and forth until the screen flashes and says error in the top corner. The second cutscene is similar, except Chica and Bonnie stare at you eerily. This time when the screen flashes, instead of the error message, It's Me flashes on the screen. The third cutscene, Chica, Bonnie, and Golden Freddy look at you, and the fourth night, Chica and Bonnie are back to looking out over the pizzeria, Golden Freddy is gone, and the puppet is right up in your face. Both of these nights also have the It's Me message. These cutscenes are labeled as dreams in the files. It's Me does not appear in FNAF 3 or 4, but does make another quick appearance in FNAF World. The loading screens of FNAF World feature a random playable character with some funny text underneath. For example, Freddy, back to basics, and Paper Pals, huh? The load screen for Golden Freddy says, It's Me. In the graphic novel version of The Silver Eyes, It's Me is once again associated with Golden Freddy when he appears to Carlton as he's trapped in a Springlock suit. However, the novel version of The Silver Eyes does not mention It's Me at all. The next instance of It's Me is 3 years down the road in terms of release date, in the security logbook. Whatever spirit is altering the text goes wild in the word search, creating many It's Me's, and also who are you and what is your name. 2 more clearly Golden Freddy related It's Me's. The first is in this piece of merch I only know about because Raitos put it in one of their videos. I tend to avoid looking at merch because I want it and I can't afford it, so I just pretend it doesn't exist. Secondly, in FNAF AR, Golden Freddy makes It's Me's appear on your screen when he charges. It's Me occurs in the Help Wanted Curse of Dreadbear DLC. If all 3 of these clown pictures spawn in the barn, you can hit them with the darts on the table. If you hit all 3, the room will turn purple and the Game 1 Claim Your Prize banner changes to It's Me. These clowns look a lot like Jackie, and this barn looks like Fall Fest. One of the Princess Quest minigames apparently has an unused It's Me in its strange glyph language, but it's unused, and I should not try to extend this video to all unused instances of It's Me because that's way harder to find out. The movie, iconically, also has an It's Me that flashes on the mirror in the restaurant. Now, before we move on to It's Me in the week before and dissecting it, I want to take a brief intermission and make a meta commentary on supernatural occurrences in FNAF. FNAF is allowed to have supernatural shenanigans without explaining them. I don't need an explanation for why you can sometimes get Eyeless, Bonnie, Freddy, and Toy Bonnie when you boot up the games. I'm not saying the supernatural Easter eggs like the posters changing are loreless. I'm saying that learning how it's possible that the posters change does not ever need to be explained. It's ghost stuff. Part of the ghostiness of it all is that you don't understand it and you can't explain it. That said, FNAF seems interested in explaining some of its supernatural shenanigans. Ever since we learned about Remnant, it has become fair game to ask, is there an explanation for the actual mechanisms by which this supernatural thing occurs? Because Scott has shown that, as an artist, he he enjoys blending the supernatural with science fiction. All that to say, it's alright to look for patterns, rules, and mechanisms with It's Me, and it's also alright if we don't find them. And now, The Week Before, my beloved. I know some people don't love when FNAF books have lore, but The Week Before was so fun, and when you think about it, it's kind of like a game, just like the security logbook, and it's getting an honorary spot. You can't put it up beside the fourth closet and say they're both just the books. The Week Before is a darling, and it has a special place in my heart, and I love theorizing about it. And good heavens, it has a lot of It's Me's. Let's go in order. This book does not take long to start throwing lore punches, because the first It's Me occurs on night 1. Ralph, the phone guy, goes into the bathroom to do some light maintenance, and hears something like a child's nursery rhyme in a hoarse, garbled whisper coming from one of the stalls. He looks in and finds It's Me written in angry scribbles of ink on the inside of the bathroom door. This occurrence is similar to the FNAF 1 graffiti instance, and the book seems to want us to connect the two because Ralph says right afterwards he should add no vandalism to the list of rules. And if we were doing a word association test where I say a word and you say the first thing that comes to your mind, a lot of people's first word when I say vandalism would be graffiti. Much later in the night, and only on your second playthrough, once you've obtained Bronwyn's phone, you use the phone to call the backstage phone and get Bonnie away from you as you hide under a table. As it's ringing, Ralph is surprised that the call is picked up. He hears garbled whispering, the sound of a child crying, and a deep, distorted voice saying, "It's me," in a burst of static. There are no occurrences on night 2, but on night 3, Ralph has mopped up a pool of blood, which we later learn is blood from Bronwyn. Ralph describes the puddle as a human body's worth of blood. Just as he's finishing, he hears footsteps and thinks it's the intruder who broke the window. He hides under a table to surprise them, but waits a long time. Instead of the intruder, someone walks in wearing one of the spare animatronic suits from backstage. The costume is saggy and the head isn't on right. This Freddy-like suit is soaked in blood with red tears in its eyes. It lurches at Ralph and intones, "It's me." Ralph can almost see the real face behind the mask, but he jolts awake. He had fallen asleep under the table waiting for the intruder, and it was a nightmare. Most people think the person Ralph is dreaming about is Bronwyn. The subtext is that she lost a ton of blood here and has died stuffed in a suit. She has just died, and Ralph is having a vision of her. At the end of the dream, Ralph has a moment of recognition that's cut short by him waking up. Ralph would likely recognize Bronwyn's face if he saw it because he recognizes her by her name and voice as that bright, promising girl he interviewed. Right after Ralph wakes up from his dream, he books it to the security office. His shift is almost over and he checks for all the animatronics, but he forgets Foxy. At the last moment, he whips open the Pirate's Cove cam and sees the sign is changed to "It's Me" right before Foxy gets him. Once again, we skip a night and head straight to night 5, where the next occurrence in terms of page order is actually the true ending of the game. This occurs on the second playthrough of the game. Ralph has been updating the recordings for the security guard after him. He records the final phone call, the one you get on night 4 in FNAF 1, and gets attacked by all the animatronics at once. He comes to inside a suit and is confused. He doesn't know how he's woken. When you come to, how? It's dark. You can't move your head, but through 2 small eye holes, you can just make out what appears to be the repair shop behind the stage. I'm okay, you wonder? Something smells bad. It might be you. It's me. Why can't you move your head, your hands? I'm not okay. All your choices have led you here, and now you're out of options. The only thing you can do is wait. If it is instead your first playthrough of Night 5, Ralph does not die to the animatronics, but instead starts dialing phone numbers from the office phone. Ralph finds the code to the voicemail on the back of a ticket, 2014, an Easter egg to the year FNAF 1 came out. The voicemail machine says this message was received 5 minutes ago. The message is from Bronwyn. She says Bonnie got her a few nights ago, being night 3. She's held on, but she's not going to make it. We'll get to the "It's Me" in a moment, but I've got to point out that this means that when Ralph was under the table, he may not have been dreaming of Bronwyn, because she doesn't seem to be dead yet. I thought maybe she recorded this when she died on night 3 and the answering machine is glitching when it says that it's 5 minutes old. After all, FNAF loves to leave 5s all over the place, like an "into the pit" and the security logbook tally marks. But Bronwyn says she broke in a few days ago and has been holding out this whole time, meaning Bronwyn has been bleeding out in this restaurant for 2 days. Now, is that possible biologically? I doubt it, but neither was the Bite of 83 according to game theory, and I don't come into FNAF expecting to be wowed by its deep understanding of human biology and scientific probability. I'm here for the ghosts. So what does that mean about the dream from night 3? I've got 5 possible answers, and y'all might have better ones that you should put in the comments. Oh, and I just remembered this. I am literally writing the script right now, and I always forget to say subscribe and like and stuff until the end of the video because I'm so excited about getting my theory on paper, but I am not forgetting this time, and I'm so proud of myself. If you've watched a few of my videos and you're enjoying them, you'd probably click on the next one that comes out, then it's prime subscribe hours. I'm so grateful to everyone who's already subscribed. I love my commenters. You guys are all so kind. Okay, back to Bronwyn. The poor girl is dying, and here I am talking about subscribing. 5 explanations for the dream, and I have no idea which is the most likely. Number 1, that was actually Bronwyn. Ralph was only half asleep. Actual Bronwyn in an actual suit walked into the room, and Ralph remembers it weird because it was a trippy half dream to him. Narratively, it seems like he wakes up right when Bronwyn is leaning over him, but it's not unheard of that a story has someone wake up having had a dream where someone was right there, and they're like, woo, it was all just a dream, but the person was actually there, even though they're not right in the shot when the person wakes up. It's possible. The Not Freddy character also leaves bloody footprints in the room, which Ralph doesn't see when he wakes up. But Ralph also can't survive after he sees this dream, as in there's no option you can choose that won't result in a game over after that point. So it is possible he just missed them. Option number 2, the dream is about Bronwyn even though Bronwyn is still fully alive. The building's haunted. There's ghosts. One of them could make him dream about Bronwyn even if she's not dead yet to haunt his dreams. Option number 3, Bronwyn is alive but is in enough agony to agony haunt the place. Look, I get Remnant. It's ghost stuff. It makes sense to me. Agony I'm a little more shaky on. I need a smarter theorist to explain everything we know about agony, but odds are I'll just do it myself. But I don't think you need to have a death to have agony. You just need agony, and Bronwyn is in agony right now. Option number 4, Bronwyn is dead on night 3. She is calling you using spooky ghost powers, and when she says she's been holding on, what she means is she's about to move on and stop haunting the building, but has been holding on until she can get her message to Ralph. Option number 5, that dream is not about Bronwyn, but about any of the other characters killed in the Springlock suit, either the Vengeful Spirit or Afton. Afton is more likely because Ralph has that moment right before he wakes up where he seems to recognize the person inside, and he likely would have seen Afton, at least at the FNAF 2 location when he was the daytime security guard. The weakness here is that Ralph thinks the suit looks like Not Freddy, and if it was Afton, you'd think he'd call it Not Bonnie. Okay, tell me what you think about this in the comments. Hold on, option number 6, it's a mistake, like Ralph saying he never took Capella to the restaurant and then saying he took her for her birthday. Okay, yes, comment. I read all my comments, so I will see it. I heart everything I've read. Back to It's Me. Bronwyn is called. She tells Ralph about the animatronics plot to get more power and escape, and then she says it's too late, call her mom, which is just super sad. And then you hear a child's laughter and then a monstrous mechanical roar. The line crackles and you hear strange tones and noises. Then Bronwyn speaks again, but her voice is garbled and low. It's me. Click. End of message. On to night 6, Ralph needs to disable the animatronics charging pads to keep them from getting out of the building and attacking those outside. If he tries to get around using the vents, Bonnie will camp the vents and keep him there almost all night. Freddy and Chica get out and make it to your house where Capella is, and she is weird about it. She's been afraid of these animatronics and thinks they're creepy and doesn't like Freddy's, but is entirely chill about them here. She's got Abby from the FNAF movie energy. Gosh dude, this ending just made me shiver. Just listen to this whole thing. He's distracting me, you think, so the others can leave. You may already be too late to stop them. Then you hear the phone ring back in the security office. No one ever calls you here. No one ever calls anyone in the middle of the night unless there's an emergency. It'll take you too long to crawl through the vents back to the security office, so you decide to test your theory. You slip out of the vent. Bonnie watches you, but he doesn't move. Is he broken? But no, his eyelids blink, and his mouth. He's smiling. A shiver runs down your spine. Then you turn and run to the security office. The phone continues ringing, and a child's laugh follows you from the dining area. You dash into the office and answer the phone. Hello? Hi, Daddy. It's Capella. Pell, honey, what's wrong? Nothing. Your friends came over and woke me up. Someone's there? The phone gets muffled as she covers the handset. You want to talk to him? She says. You squeeze the handset as she hands the phone to someone. Who is this? You whisper. The connection crackles. It's me. Freddy Fazbear laughs and hangs up. What is happening here? Why is Capella calm and happy to be with Freddy? Let's do the next It's Me and try to explain them together. In the next instance, Ralph full-on fries Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica by an uncontrolled shock and leaves early to get to Capella. Foxy follows them home. If you have no items to defend with, Foxy will rip you to shreds and Capella runs to her room to call the cops. You come to for a moment and don't know what happened. You start to slip away again and dream that Foxy brings Chica to your house. Chica looks different without her bib. She leans over you and in your daughter's voice whispers, "It's me." Okay, so what's up with the Capella endings? So the subtext here is that Capella doesn't make it in either ending. It seems to me that in both endings, Capella dies and either possesses Chica or Chica gains the ability to speak in her voice. In the second scene, we see that when Capella dies, Chica uses her voice. And in the first scene, we got Capella acting so out of character, but talking. It seems like she's dead, and that's why she thinks of the Freddy's characters as friends. We know from the Silver Eyes and the FNAF movie and this very book that the possessed animatronics have a sort of camaraderie. Now, Capella has joined and thinks of them as friends. Oh, but I don't know, because why can she talk so eloquently here when it seems like when everyone else dies, all they say is, "It's me." Okay, more comments, please. The ghosts are doing vague and unexplainable ghost things, and I don't know who's alive or dead anymore. But we're almost done with every instance. In the true ending of your first playthrough, Ralph gets the animatronics' batteries to drain without frying them by playing one of their longest show programs, but finds himself face to face with Golden Freddy. Ralph is sure if he looks away, he'll die. Freddy starts singing, Bonnie rocks his guitar, and Chica struts her stuff. You aren't sure it's working, but as the song wears on, and it's one of the longest in the catalog at 7 minutes and 48 seconds, they slow down, slurring their words and getting clumsy. Go home, you're drunk, you think. At the same time, another forceful thought intrudes with, "It's me." You see the words in your head, you hear them, and you feel them. They hurt. You wince and stagger under the weight of Golden Freddy's mind. Blood trickles from your right nostril. You taste it, salty and metallic on your lips. The song ends, and the animatronics fall silent and still. You risk a quick glance to the stage. Their eyes are closed. They're sleeping. You take a deep breath. It worked. You turn back towards Golden Freddy, and he suddenly appears in front of your face, mouth open and screaming. You stagger and fall to your knees. Golden Freddy puts his hands on either side of your head. I'm not gonna read every "it's me and she's safe." I'm not a masochist. Well, I might be, but I care about my retention on YouTube. It's me, it's me, it's me, it's me. And just under the angry onslaught of noise, you hear a soft voice, a warm and gentle one. A woman saying, "It's me. Thank you. You did it. She'll be all right now. She's safe. She's safe. It's me, it's me, it's me. She's safe. It's me. She's safe. She's safe. She's safe." You smile and go to sleep. From this point on, you restart the game, but start with Bronwyn's phone and use it to get the true ending on your second playthrough. One last "it's me." If Ralph checks the charging pads to see if they're truly tampered like Bronwyn said, Freddy will approach and Ralph can't get away. Freddy is close now. He opens his mouth. You wince, expecting him to scream, but instead he laughs. It sounds like a child's laughter. More children laugh. Bonnie and Chica are watching you from the stage, mouths opening and closing. "You're just kids, you say? Who?" Freddy's face is inches from your head. He leans down. You wonder what it will be like living without your frontal lobe. A warped, garbled voice says, "It's me." Oh my goodness, this book is so good. Okay, we found them all. Time to theorize. Is there any rhyme or reason to the occurrences? Is there meaning, or are they just creepy as all get out? Who says "it's me," and who do they say it to? In FNAF 1, "it's me" comes from Freddy, Bonnie, Golden Freddy, the Pirate's Cove sign, the graffiti on the wall. The Freddy, Bonnie, and Golden Freddy instances seem to be projected in the mind, like described in the week before, and they are said to Mike Schmidt Afton. FNAF 2. The person who says "it's me" is pretty unclear, to be honest. The dreamer? The person inflicting the dream? We don't know for certain who either person is. Maybe we can circle back to this one. FNAF World. This one is also unclear. Is this another sort of meta joke or an Easter egg, or is this Golden Freddy in the flip side? I lean towards Easter egg because the loading screen tips tend to be little winks at the audience, and there are two other Golden Freddy related characters who have a ton of dialogue, and neither of them say "it's me" at all. And none of the playable Golden Freddys have any "it's me" references in their moves or anything. The graphic novel version of The Silver Eyes is said by Golden Freddy, who is possessed by a kid named Michael Brooks, to Carlton. The security logbook, said by Altered Text, who I believe is the crying child Dave, to Cassidy? Mike? No one? Probably Cassidy, because he answers some of her question and asks for her name, and he knows Mike's name because Mike wrote it on the first page. The Curse of Dreadbear. This "it's me" is very Fall Fest related. If it's canon, we'll need to wait for Secret of the Mimic to learn more about it. Also, another tangent, I am so impressed with the planning for Fall Fest and Secret of the Mimic. Curse of Dreadbear came out in 2020, and that is Jackie with the mimic possession eyes from the trailer. I've been dying to know what happened at Fall Fest for like 3 years minimum. They've been teasing this out for years, and it's working. I need to know what happened at Fall Fest. It's just so cool the amount of forethought that's being put into the series at this point. But as for this "it's me," we don't know who says it or who they're saying it to. It's possible this could be the crying child if he died summer of 1983 and this is Fall Fest 1983. It's also possible this is the glitch trap virus that has put this here. It turns the room purple, the Afton color, and if it's trying to recreate the past, that could include the phrase "it's me." FNAF AR. Golden Freddy says it, but this one is an odd duck because I don't know if the occurrence is relevant or directed by Scott. I lean towards no, because FNAF 6 should have already happened, and Ultimate Custom Night. And Golden Freddy's mechanic in this game is to mimic one of the other animatronics, which makes me think this might also be the mimic. The FNAF movie. It's way too early to know what this occurrence means. My expectation is that it's Mike's brother Garrett reaching out to him, but FNAF loves to subvert expectations about the lore, so we'll wait at least for the next movie to make a judgment. Finally, the week before, all of these are said to Ralph. Graffitied on the wall, a deep distorted voice over the phone accompanied by the sound sound of a crying child, Bonnie is known to be in the room where the phone is answered from. The dream of not Freddy, probably Bronwyn, when not Freddy intones, "It's me." To intone means to sort of sing in a monotone way, like, "It's me." That's intoning, I think. The Pirate's Cove sign, Ralph is dead in the true ending and stuffed in the suit, wonders what the smell is and thinks it's me. At the end of Bronwyn's final phone call, in her voice, but deep and garbled, when Capella is weird and puts Freddy on the line, when Foxy eviscerates you and Biblis Chica comes and leans over you and says in Capella's voice, "It's me," the Golden Freddy psychic brain blast, and the "You're just kids? Who? It's me." To glean good evidence, let's look at the instances that we have a lot of confidence are said in a supernatural, non-mimic way and are not just an Easter egg. That's FNAF 1, 2, the graphic novel, the security logbook, and the week before. Have we learned anything? Probably. It can occur in the form of graffiti, altered text, audio, and blasted directly into the brain. The week before almost always describes some sort of audio distortion accompanying "It's me." A laughing, a crying, a deep garble, or a static. People only say "It's me" when they're dead, but there's only like 2 alive people in this whole franchise. Let's look at everyone who definitively says it. Freddy, Bonnie, and Golden Freddy in FNAF 1, Golden Freddy in the Silver Eyes, Dave in the form of altered text in the security logbook, Bronwyn, Capella, Ralph, and Freddy, Bonnie, and Golden Freddy again in the week before. And here the lights clicked on for me while theorizing. The week before is consistent with FNAF 1 about who can say it and who can't. Foxy doesn't, Chica doesn't. Only Freddy, Bonnie, Golden Freddy, and someone altering and creating text. Why not Chica or Foxy? I thought for a moment perhaps they don't have a voice box. Yeah, that theory is out. But whittling it down to this point, some things have become clear. In the security logbook, the crying child is altering text to say "It's me." In FNAF 1 and the week before, Pirate's Cove and the graffiti are altered text saying "It's me." In the FNAF 2 dreams, the error message is also altered to say "It's me." I feel pretty confident saying the crying child is haunting the building and every occurrence of "It's me" involving changed text is his doing, which means he is likely either the one inflicting the FNAF 2 dream or dreaming it. In the week before, Golden Freddy psychic blasts you with "It's me," just like in FNAF 1 and the Silver Eyes. In the week before, Freddy laughs when he says it, just like the laugh he does in FNAF 1 when he moves, and also in the week before, Bonnie cries when he says it. When people are very recently dead, like Bronwyn, Capella, and Ralph, they say it too. Let's zoom in there. Are Bronwyn, Capella, or Ralph's spirits still around after death to say "It's me"? Or is someone pulling a mediocre melodies and puppeting their vocal cords? They're here because the only person who puppets vocal cords is the Vengeful Spirit, and Bronwyn and the Vengeful Spirit are talking over each other in the page of "It's me, she's safe." That's unnerving from a lore perspective, because I was pretty sure the MCI, Dave, Charlie, and Elizabeth were the only ones haunting Freddy's, but we just got 3 more possessions in just 5 days of being open. But no more tangents. We have to wrestle with that in another theory. But hey, speaking of Elizabeth and Charlie, neither of them are going around saying "It's me." How come the 2 girls who died brutally, who are the owner's own daughters, are This is where I start to make progress with this theory. Who doesn't say "It's me"? Charlie, Elizabeth, Foxy, Chica. "It's me" is a matter of awareness. Hear me out. Charlie, the puppet, doesn't say it. The puppet has a more powerful and intelligent presence than the MCI victims. She possesses her animatronic on her own. She has some sort of understanding of the supernatural to help the others possess their animatronic.
I'll be honest, I never liked that puppet thing. It's always thinking.
The others are like animals, but I am very aware.
The 4th closet made sure that we note that Elizabeth is the foil to Charlie, the other owner's daughter, both killed, both possessing, both very aware. They know who they are, and they know who the others are.
I recognize you, but I'm not afraid of you. Not anymore.
I will make you proud, Daddy.
The others are like animals.
All of those little souls.
But I am very aware.
There's something very important that I've learned how to do over time. How to pretend.
But Charlie uses this power to shepherd and protect, while Elizabeth uses her power to hurt and manipulate. The point is that Elizabeth is just as aware as Charlie. They're both very in tune with their animatronics, their death, and their possession, and as such, they have more agency. For the puppet, this agency manifests as supernatural powers and locomotion. For Elizabeth, she is scheming and articulate. How about Foxy? Check this out.
I never liked that puppet thing. I don't think the Freddy mask will fool us, so just don't forget the music box. I'm not sure if the Freddy head trick will work on Foxy. Just flash your light at him from time to time.
Oh, what's that? Another character who seems more in tune with their surroundings, more aware, who also doesn't say, "It's me"? Huh, isn't that strange? But what about Chica? Because Chica can be fooled by the mask. Yeah, but there's a lot of evidence that Susie is more in tune with her surroundings, on par with Foxy. We have a whole Fazbear Fright story about Susie called Coming Home, where we find almost exactly what I would expect to find to fit this theory. In Coming Home, the MCI victim Susie died a year ago, but doesn't know it. During the day, she hangs around her old home where her sister and mom live, and at night, Chica takes her to Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's is obsessed with memory. In so many of the stories, forgetting and remembering is the key to all things supernatural. In the Tales from the Pizzaplex Alone Together, Travis has forgotten he died and needs to remember by finding his body. In the security logbook, we see both Cassidy and Dave have forgotten their names and need help from each other and Mike to remember. In fact, Dave seems to have forgotten just about everything. In Coming Home, Susie has forgotten where she hid her sister's doll right before she died. Throughout the story, during the day, Susie is frustrated that she can't communicate with her sister and starts to come up with more clever ways to communicate by blowing wind around and drawing on papers. And she gets her sister to start looking for the doll. At night, she is compelled to go with Chica but wants to stay home with her family. Full disclosure, this section I'm about to read from Coming Home actually blends two different nights of Chica coming to take Susie together, but they're extremely similar, and putting them together is dramatic and quite frankly a banger. She wanted to stay in the nice warm bed, but instead she walked out of the room and down the stairs. She tried to go back upstairs, but she couldn't. Instead, her feet took her to the entryway. As always, Susie hesitated, but then she did as she knew she must. She held out her hand and let Chica enclose her stiff, cold fingers over her own. Chica turned and walked towards the steps leading down the leaf-covered front lawn. Susie had no choice but to go along. Every step made her feel less like herself. By the time she passed Oliver's still falling leaves, she was lost. Susie isn't exactly resisting. She's not really able to. She's conscious of what she wants, but at night when Chica comes to take her, she's unable to take action towards what she wants. But the final night, her sister finds the doll, and when she does, this happens. Chica didn't pause, but Susie did. However much Chica was willing her to keep walking, something equally strong was willing her to go back. Caught in the middle, Susie once again couldn't move. "Susie!" Samantha wailed her sister's name. "I have to go back," Susie said. "I have to." She waited, holding her breath. And then she felt something shift in the air around her. Chica let go of her hand. Susie finds her doll and gains more control over her animatronic, just like how Elizabeth and Charlie and Fritz seem to have more control of theirs. And on the other side, of the characters that we know say "it's me," two of them are known to have lesser control and awareness. The crying child, Dave, is shown to have very little awareness and control. In the security logbook, he is really struggling to even make sense of the basic questions Cassidy is asking him. "The party was for you. It was for me. Is this song familiar to you? I can hear sounds. Do you still have dreams? I'm scared." Poor kid. Now, saying Cassidy has a memory issue makes sense. She doesn't remember her name. But to say that she has less awareness and therefore control may not feel as intuitive. Golden Freddy can teleport. You'd think if anyone has a handle on their situation, it's the teleporting insta-kill Golden Bear of Death. But Golden Freddy's mechanics are just so unstable. Golden Freddy is slumped and out of order, but extremely rarely they can teleport directly to your location and kill you in an instant. This is the vengeful spirit, filled with agony, filled with rage. Let all security guards who look even vaguely like Afton beware. But if Cassidy is so angry and so powerful, why are the odds to see Golden Freddy only 1 in 32,768? Well, I think it's because Golden Freddy is slumped over like an empty suit, and it takes an extremely violent and powerful burst of emotion to get Cassidy to move them. Because if Cassidy is in full control of the suit, we are experiencing ludonarrative dissonance, thank you Gibby. Because how can Cassidy be almost unstoppably powerful and out to kill you, and yet you see them less than any of the other characters by an extremely wide margin? Cassidy is not in full control, but when her vengeance flares, by golly, that girl can teleport. We have very little evidence about what's going on in Gabriel and Jeremy's mind because Susie is Scott's favorite child and Foxy is the community's, and so the other two tend to fall to the background a little more. Unless we get more evidence, I think it's very reasonable to speculate that Gabriel and Jeremy are similar to all the other kids and have issues with their memory and control of their animatronics, because
The others are like animals.
and we have no reason to suspect that they've had any resolution that would change that for them. But what about Ralph, Bronwyn, and Campelia? Bless Scott Cawthon and E.C. Myers for putting in Ralph's final moments in the canon ending. I mean, also, darn it, Scott, what do you mean? The phone guy is possessing the building? Is he Shadow Freddy and Bronwyn is Shadow Bonnie? But anyways, bless them both for giving us an it's me from a narrator's perspective. We're in Ralph's head in that scene. We know why he says it's me, and it's the only it's me we've ever gotten this kind of insider information. Ralph has died, woken up stuffed inside a suit, and is disoriented. Like, for a moment he thinks he's okay, and then he wonders why he can't move his head and hands. He's very disoriented. Why does he say it's me? Because he's wondering what that smell is, and he realizes it's him. For Ralph, it's this moment of realization. It's me. I'm stuck in a suit. I'm what's rotting. I think that's what it's me is. It's those who have died and are possessing something going through this constant cycle of realizing the feeling that they're not really these robots. They're themselves. But the only words they're able to put to it is it's me, because they're still so far from remembering themselves. The key to all of these is memory. Whether it's a name, like for Cassidy, or the location of a doll, like for Susie, they're not able to hold on to their identity until they really remember. They just have these fleeting moments of realization that they're themselves, not the animatronics. But the only words for it is it's me. Because if you were trapped inside a metal casing like an animatronic or a Dalek for that matter, and you came face to face with someone who said, "What? You're a person in there?" And you realize, they're right, you're not a machine. You're a person, except you've forgotten everything about yourself, even your name. So what else could you even say more to yourself than to the person in front of you? It's me. And the tragedy of it is that almost as soon as the words are out of your mouth, you forget again. Because inside Freddy's, with no connection to your old life, you're lost. And that's the end of this one, because I'm not quite ready to figure out if Bronwyn, Capella, and Ralph are haunting Freddy's for like a week or until one of the fires or not at all. I don't want this to ever be an excuse to put a lousy theory out, but I'm not a super fast at video editing yet, so a half-hour video once a week takes up basically all of my free time. And if I try to figure that out for this video, I'd be uploading this a week later. I'm so grateful to everyone who watched this all the way through, and as always, I really try to read all my comments. So if you have something to say or just want to let me know you're here, I'll heart your comment once I've read it. I have been Candi Bunny, and I have candy all day. Candy, candy, candy.